Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is Tausif, starting a live stream from Madison, Wisconsin. The time right now is 12:23 a.m., and that is Central Time. And I'm going to be talking about an important speech that's coming up. It's actually going to be later today. President Donald J. Trump is going to be delivering a primetime address. And that's the breaking news. So this is Wednesday already because we are in the Central Time Zone. Obviously, Washington, D.C. is in the Eastern Time Zone. Wednesday here. And this primetime address that President Donald J. Trump is going to be delivering is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. Let me just double check that time before we move forward. Give me a second here. If somebody wants to share thoughts in the live chat, go ahead and do it. Okay, so let me just double check it here. President Trump, primetime address, and this is going to be 9 p.m. Eastern. That's right, 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. That's today. Okay, so breaking news. And the question is, what is he going to be talking about? Any idea, anyone? Do you want to make a guess what the president may be talking about? Frank, good to see you. Evelyn, good to see you. We got Frank and Evelyn, and hopefully more of our friends will be joining us soon. So if you want to make a guess regarding this primetime address that's coming up, please feel free to do that. I guess we have to wait and see. Maybe later today, before the speech, we'll get some I don't know, some information. Is the White House going to be announcing ahead of time, maybe giving us a hint about the topic or topics to be covered in that speech? I don't know. There are many possibilities. And I think President Trump could talk about the success so far. What do you think? Perhaps it'll be an update right before we go into the new year, an update on the progress made in the new presidential term. Okay, President Trump had the inauguration of his second term back in January. He was sworn into office in January, and months have flown by since. And I think he has done a lot so far. He has done a lot. I mean, we've talked about so many different things on this channel about the things that President Trump has done. And I think during this holiday season, this may be the perfect time to do a live address and to share an update. Okay? I mean, it could very well be something like the State of the Union. Melissa, good to see you. Melissa is here. Earlier I said Frank is here, Evelyn is here, and now we have Melissa. Melissa, thanks for joining. All right, so this upcoming address could be, I think Evelyn mentioned it, a mix of current events. Yeah, that could be it. A mix of current events, current affairs, ongoing issues, accomplishments, challenges, something like the State of the Union. Okay. Earlier this year, we saw President Trump do a joint address to Congress, right? We talked about it on this channel. Remember that. The joint address to Congress. And now This primetime address could be something like the State of the Union. Who knows? Who knows? We don't know. It's quite possible. A direct address by the president in front of the people of this country, not from the United States Capitol, but from the White House. Yeah, this is it. Trump will speak live from the White House at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesday. That's today. I think it's going to be very powerful. Yes, the State of the Union, yes, the joint address to Congress is from the US Capitol, which is amazing. And there are a lot of people in the room. Members of Congress are in the room, the Supreme Court justices are in the room, military leaders are in the room, guests are in the room, the Speaker of the House, the majority leader in the Senate, the minority leader. So many prominent elected officials in the room. Not just elected officials, but cabinet members. That's what happens when the president is delivering an address from the US Capitol. But this is going to be different because this will be from the White House. I think I would prefer a speech like that. It would be nice to get a detailed account of the accomplishments of the Trump administration so far. Technically, it has not been a year yet. January 20th, you could say it's an exact year. Now this is December. Not even December the 20th. 11 months, he has done a lot. So, what can President Trump talk about? Everything from lowering the price of gas to fighting inflation to bringing back businesses, bringing businesses back to the United States of America. That's my country. That's your country. If you're watching this, hey, US citizen, are you listening to me? This is your country. This is my country. And President Trump is bringing businesses back to the United States of America. Businesses that had left. Businesses that reduced their operation in the US and went overseas, went to other countries, went to the nearby country of Canada. President Trump is bringing those businesses back to the US, back to American soil. He can talk about that. He can talk about securing excellent trade deals. Trade deals, including deals pertaining to rare earths and critical minerals. You've probably heard that term a lot. It's a term that we hear more and more and more every day. Critical minerals, we need them. Critical minerals. President Trump, during his joint address, not joint address, the primetime address, sorry. The primetime address, he can talk about how he stopped wars, how he stopped conflicts, how he's trying to bring about peace in different parts of the world. He can talk about that. He can talk about securing the border. That probably should be the number one thing, the very first thing that he mentions, right? Don't you think so? In the list of very, very important things, in the long list of accomplishments, securing the border is perhaps number one because it's about our sovereignty. Without a secure border, we don't have a country. To protect the sovereignty of the United States of America, we need a secure border, and that is what President Trump and his administration, they have delivered that. They have fulfilled that promise made to the American people. And now it is something that the president can talk about during his primetime address. He can talk about deporting illegal aliens. He can talk about so many things. Melissa, you are correct. He can talk about Ukraine and Russia. Everyone say hello to our friend Kay Cooper from Texas. Kay Cooper's here. Kay, good to see you. President Trump can talk about, yes, Melissa. Yes, Melissa, you are right. President Trump can talk about Ukraine and Russia and the war that is taking place in that region. Maybe there's going to be a surprise. Maybe it'll be a peace deal that he announces. 9 p.m. Eastern Time. President Trump could very well appear in front of the whole country on screen, and he can announce a peace deal between Ukraine and Russia. That would be great. I think that is what we would like to see. But we don't know. We're just making guesses here. Also, President Trump can talk about, when he's talking about his accomplishments, he can talk about his foreign trips. He can talk about going to the Middle East, his trip to Saudi Arabia, his trip to Qatar, his trip to UAE, the United Arab Emirates. President Trump can talk about his very, very successful trip to Asia. Remember that amazing speech that he delivered in Japan. President Trump can talk about his historic visit to Egypt, where he signed the Middle East peace deal. President Trump can talk about the one big beautiful bill. We call it the one big beautiful bill. He can talk about no tax on tips. He can talk about no tax on overtime. He can talk about the great things he has done for this country in 11 months, not even a full year. Is that what he's going to do? Perhaps. I think it's important. As soon as the holiday season is over, my friends, it'll be all about the 2026 election. As soon as the holiday season is over, it's all going to be about the 2026 election. So if President Trump uses his primetime address to talk about the success of the second Trump administration so far, that would be a good thing. I think it's going to help him and the Republicans in the 2026 election that's coming up. My friends, there is so much at stake in 2026. The House, where we have a razor-thin margin. Every time I think about it, I get worried. I do. That very thin margin that we have right now. If the Democrats are able to flip a few seats, then we lose the House, and we cannot allow that to happen. Because you know what's going to happen if we lose the House? Nothing's going to get done. The America First agenda will not be implemented if we lose the House in 2026. So I think President Trump could use this primetime address during the holiday season to highlight the accomplishments, to go point by point by point, list the accomplishments. Help people understand the significance of these accomplishments. It's not okay to simply say no tax on tips, no tax on overtime. It's important to also elaborate on what that means. Share data, share numbers. The statistics are out there. Gather the numbers. Tell the American people how many Americans in the US workforce depend on tips and what that would mean for the average American worker who gets tips, what that would mean, what kind of a tax impact that would have, how much money would an American taxpayer save because of no tax on tips. My friends, I don't know what this primetime address is going to be about, but as far as I understand, there's a lot that can be accomplished with one speech. Holiday season, one speech highlighting the accomplishments, and then right after Christmas, right after New Year, the 1st of January, the 2026 election campaign season will start getting more heated. It's going to reach peak intensity sometime in October, I think. But this entire year is going to be so important. 2026. If we lose the House, remember this. Now, I don't want to point out the scary possibilities, because it's very scary if you think about it. If you think about the razor thin margin that we have in the House, we the Republicans, and if the Democrats are able to flip a few seats, then we the Republicans, we lose the House. And what happens if we lose the House? I don't want to highlight that possibility, but you have to understand what's at stake. If the Democrats win back the House, what they're going to do for the final 2 years of the Trump administration, what they're going to do is just block, obstruction. They are going to create all kinds of barriers to prevent the America First agenda from being implemented. And so we, the Republicans, we need to hold on to the House majority. In fact, I would love to see the Republicans secure more seats in the House so that it's not as razor thin of a margin as it is now. So will President Trump use the primetime address coming up later today, 9 p.m. Eastern Time? Will he use this opportunity to highlight the accomplishments? Let's wait and see. No one has the answer. Only the folks in the White House. They know, obviously. But we will find out. In less than 24 hours from now, we will find out. 9 p.m. Eastern. What are you going to do when it's 9 p.m. Eastern? My friends from all over the country, what are you going to do? We got friends who are in the Eastern time zone. We got friends in the Central time zone. I'm in the Central time zone. We got friends in the mountain time zone and the Pacific time zone. What are you going to be doing? Are you going to be watching it live? I hope you do. It's important. The primetime address, right in the middle of a week, Wednesday, right in the middle. My friends, I actually have a poll going on right now on Twitter. You can check it out. I asked the following question. I'm going to read the question to you. Actually, I also have the poll going on right here. Yeah, you can see the poll. But I'll read to you the question. Give me a second here. I'll read to you the question that I'm asking. What do you think the topic of President Trump's primetime address on Wednesday will be? Is it going to be, the first option is accomplishments in year one. Is it going to be immigration enforcement? Is it going to be Venezuela, Maduro regime, or is it going to be something else? What will President Trump talk about? Answer the poll question here or on Twitter. Well, no longer Twitter. It's called X now. Anyway, we're so used to calling it Twitter still, right? I think there's a likelihood that this address will be about Venezuela. That's right. That's right. I mean, think about it. It could be about Venezuela, right? What do you think? There are people speculating. What is it going to be about? Accomplishments in year one, immigration enforcement, Venezuela. Is it going to be Ukraine, Russia? As Melissa mentioned, maybe it's going to be about Ukraine, Russia. The Ukraine-Russia war. It could be about Venezuela. It's quite possible. My friends, the situation surrounding Venezuela is quite heated. There is massive, massive, massive military buildup in that region. Massive military buildup in that region. President Trump actually posted a long piece of writing on Truth Social. I'm not going to read the whole thing. You can go read it. But I'll give you the overview. President Trump is saying that Venezuela is completely surrounded by the largest armada ever assembled in the history of South America. And President Trump also says that it will only get bigger, and the shock to them will be like nothing they've ever seen before. Wow. So what President Trump is asking is, Venezuela has to return to the United States all of the oil, land, and other assets that they previously stole from us. Okay, this is a direct challenge to the Maduro regime, and President Trump mentions it very clearly in his post. He writes, the Maduro regime is illegitimate. And he writes that the Maduro regime is using oil from stolen oil fields to finance themselves. It's a long post. You can read it. But here's the message that President Trump sent. He said that he's ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. That's right. That is what I said. President Trump, he posted this on social media. He wrote, I am ordering a total and complete blockade of all sanctioned oil tankers going into and out of Venezuela. This is intense. A blockade. Can you imagine the kind of pressure that the Maduro regime is feeling right now? Can you understand that? Kay Cooper, our friend, Evelyn, Salerno, Bill, who else? Frank. Is AC Cruz here? I haven't seen AC Cruz in a while. Melissa is here. Melissa, good to see you. Can you understand the kind of pressure that the Maduro regime is feeling right now? It's a hostile regime. President Trump said, we will not, hold on a second, let me read this. America will not allow a hostile regime to take our oil, land, and any other assets, all of which must be returned to the United States immediately. And he put immediately in all caps. I didn't read the entire post. You can read it. Go to Truth Social. By the way, if you go to Truth Social, please follow me, all right? Connect with me. I would appreciate that very much. And please subscribe if you have not done so yet. Subscribe and stay connected. Marjorie is here. Marjorie, good to see you. Thanks for being here, Marjorie from Canada. So my friends, here's what's going on. I'm going to give you the picture here, and you can tell me if you agree with me or you don't. Are you ready for it? Are you ready? Are you ready to hear my analysis, my conclusion? Evelyn's ready. All right. Let me say it. Nicolas Maduro is surrounded. He's surrounded. Nicolas Maduro, that's right. I'm talking about the president of Venezuela. By the way, do you think he became the president and he got reelected in a fair manner? You think so? I don't think so. Maduro. He's a dictator. He's a brutal dictator. He runs an authoritarian regime, and now Maduro is surrounded, and he has nowhere to go. The only option right now for Nicolas Maduro would be to surrender. To surrender. But it seems to me that Maduro doesn't want to do that. No. He wants to pretend to be strong. He knows he's weak. He knows he has nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He knows that his financial resources are drying up. He knows that planes don't want to fly over the Venezuelan airspace. He knows that the country is surrounded by U.S. military. Maduro knows all that, but yet he's trying to project strength. And people do that, actually. You know, people do that. If you just study people in your everyday life, if you interact with people, if you meet with a lot of people, nice people, not so nice people, kind people, not so kind people, if you are dealing with a variety of people, then you'll find that there are some who try to project strength, even when they are not strong, even when their situation is weak, even when their plans are falling apart. They still try to project strength. And they do that by visually appearing to be strong. They do that by raising their voice and sounding all confident. You'll find people like that in your, on this earth. It's not just Maduro. There are other people. People living in the community, you'll probably come across them. If you are somebody who doesn't like interacting with people, if you're like an introvert, you don't want to communicate a whole lot, you just like to do what you do, stay in your apartment, stay in your house, limited interaction, limited movement, that's different. But if you if you interact with people, if you are a social individual, you'll meet a variety of people, and you may find someone or some people or several people who have that mentality where no matter how weak they are, they try to project strength. Even when they know that things are not going in their favor, they try to project strength, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But at some point, the reality has to be acknowledged. It's one thing to try to be strong in the face of challenges, in the face of obstacles. That's okay. But if things get more intense, like in the case of Maduro, and a person realizes there's nowhere to go, there's no way to repair the damage, there's no way to bring everything together like before, when it becomes obvious that defeat is approaching fast, a person has to act accordingly. What Maduro probably understands is that he's surrounded, he has nowhere to go. The only option would be to surrender, and yet he doesn't want to do that. What option does Maduro have? Can anyone tell me? Do we have international relations experts here? Do we have experts who have studied Latin American politics? Or people who have been to Latin America? People who know a lot about Venezuela? Can anyone tell me what option does Maduro have? Oh, right. How could I forget? How could I forget? Russia. Vladimir Putin has shown support for Maduro. Oh my God. Is that going to be enough for Nicolas Maduro to stay in power? Do you think so? Really? Okay. I mean, Maduro does not want to step down from power. Even as he is witnessing military buildup in that region. Even as Maduro is seeing the strength of American muscle. Even when Maduro understands the strength of American firepower, Maduro still is holding on to his position. Why? Is it because Russia has shown support for the Maduro regime? Is Nicolas Maduro acting strong only because Russia has shown their support for this regime? Is that going to be enough? Can anyone tell me? Let me tell you the truth about Russia. Russia is busy with Ukraine. I don't think that Russia's support for Ukraine means anything. It doesn't mean anything. Yeah, Vladimir Putin can pick up the phone, or one of Vladimir Putin's allies, comrades, can pick up the phone. Some big general or some big political figure in Russia, one of Putin's buddies, can pick up the phone and call Maduro and say, oh yeah, you got our support. What does that do? Those are just words. You got to understand one thing. Russia is far, far away from Venezuela. If you look at Venezuela on the map, you're going to see that Venezuela is a lot closer to the United States of America on the map compared to Russia. Venezuela is far away from Russia, so the US clearly has an advantage here. And it would not be easy for Russia to do anything from such a faraway place. I mean, Vladimir Putin can pick up the phone and try to boost Maduro's confidence, but that is not going to translate into any solid action. Those are just words, words of support with no real meaning. It would not be easy for Russia to do anything from so far away. What can they really do? Is Russia going to form some kind of a protective barrier around Venezuela? Not possible. Russia is too far. And you know what? Russia's resources are tied up in that war against Ukraine. And here's the most important thing that you must understand and keep in mind. The people of Venezuela, they want Maduro regime gone. So it's not like Maduro is holding on to power because he has the support of the people. No, he does not. He does not. The people of Venezuela, the freedom-loving people of Venezuela, they want to see Maduro depart from power. The people of Venezuela want new leadership. The people of Venezuela, they want freedom. They want rights. The people of Venezuela, they don't want to see the continuation of this authoritarian regime. So that's why I'm saying, do you think President Donald J. Trump is going to use this primetime address to talk about Venezuela, maybe announce next steps? Or maybe he's already taking action and we're going to find out what action the Trump administration has taken during, we're gonna find out, we're gonna get a status update from the president during his primetime address. That could be it. It could be a Venezuela focused primetime address. It's very possible. You can tell me what you think is gonna happen. You can share your thoughts with me. Answer the poll question, my friends. All right. So share with me your thoughts. I'm going to wrap up this live stream now. Share with me your thoughts, all right? My friends, I'm looking at the poll. The question is, what do you think the topic of President Trump's primetime address on Wednesday will be? And 37% of the people said accomplishments in year one. Okay, so that's the highest number out of the 4 options that I have here in the poll question. So 37% of the people think it's going to be a discussion of the accomplishments in year one. That very well could be the case. So anyway, my friends, I'm going to wrap up this live stream, 40 minutes. Um, I, I am going to be doing another live stream very soon. Maybe a few hours from now. Who knows? Maybe during the day. Anyway, I'm wrapping this up. We're gonna find out 9 p.m. Eastern time today more about the address. Okay. Um, so stay connected with me. Thank you for sharing your thoughts in the poll question. Thank you for participating in the discussion. And I'm gonna be back again very, very soon with more videos and more live stream. All right, keeping this one short, but stay connected and please subscribe if you have not done so yet. So, my friends, thank you so very much. Have a wonderful morning. I can't say good night. Have a one, it's a new day. Have a wonderful morning, and I'll be back again very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.